Oh, good thing. Good thing.
Good morning. Happy New Year. You know, one of the best things about a new year is you get a whole new calendar with all new pictures. And I mean, what a deal. What a deal. Fun. My 10-year-old granddaughter, and this just shows you the difference between little boys and little girls. Our 10-year-old granddaughter gave me this for Christmas. I mean, it is so nice and warm and lovely, and gave one to Jan too, not the same, but a different one. So, no, old boys. Yeah. Yeah. Difference between boys and girls. This was kind of neat. We have a cleaning crew that comes in and cleans the church. And in the gratitude box this morning, to all of you in the fellowship, thank you for the gift. We gave them a little gift. We gave them some. Jan, didn't we give them money, or what did we give them? Yeah, a little bit. And we're all grateful to have met such big-hearted people here. We are glad to stay and keep at your service. Sincerely, the cleaning crew. Isn't that nice? Oh. Cool. Do what? Yeah, I know. And that's a comment I made to Janice. Ooh, they got it. They actually put it on a gratitude and put it in the box, so they understood. Cool. For all of you on YouTube, hello, Happy New Year. Nice to have you. We do have a couple patron saints by the name of John Lennon and George Carlin. And John said, love is real. Real is love. Love is feeling. Feeling love. Love is wanting to be loved. Love is touch. Touch is love. Love is reaching love. Love is asking to be loved. Love is you and me. Love is knowing. We can be. Love is free is love. Love is living love. Love is needing to be loved. I'm sure John turned that into a song, right? We do. Yeah, I don't know which one it is, but I know it. Yeah. Cool. And George, he could turn this one into a song too. Ever notice that anyone going slower you and is an idiot, and anybody going faster is a maniac? That should be a good song, right? Right? Saw one of those this morning on Clearwater, and I'm going, that guy is going way too fast. Almost spun around, and then he just kept right on going and doing the same stupid stuff. Who knows? Who knows? Maniac. Pick. It was Christmas, the day after Christmas at a church in San Francisco. The pastor of the church was looking over the lawn when he noticed that the baby Jesus was missing from among the figures. He hurried outside and saw a little boy with a red wagon. And in the wagon was the figure of the little infant Jesus. So he walked up to the boy and said, well, where did you get your passenger, my friend? The little boy replied, I got him at church. And why did you take him? The boy explained, well, about a week before Christmas, I prayed to the little Lord Jesus, and I told him that if he would bring me a little red wagon for Christmas, I would give him a ride around the block in it. Right? True or not? It's a cute story. Cute story. And more t-shirts. Thank you, Mary. Mary, okay? Oh, yeah, okay. Happy New Year, Mike. T-shirts. Administrative assistant, because miracle worker isn't the official job title. And never trust an atom. They make up everything. Our family must be God's favorite sitcom. I believe that everything happens for a reason. People change so that you can. Learn to let go. Things go wrong. So that you appreciate them when they're right, and sometimes good things fall apart. So better things can fall together. Marilyn Monroe. And this, if you can see this, I had to actually sit here and go, okay, I can't read that obviously, so I'm going to have to read it backwards. And it's a t-shirt that's all backwards, and it says, "This is my selfie shirt." All back, completely backwards. Mirror image. Cool. All right. Workmen of ancient Rome built an arched vault, which they called a chimera, from a Greek term for curved. Popular usage eventually made the term stand for any type of chamber. With the meaning in mind, English scientists of the 16th century borrowed the old Latin word. They had discovered that a convex lens fixed in one end of a darkened room could be made to throw the image of an external object on the opposite wall. They knew of no practical use for such a dark chamber, but gave it a sonorous Latin name, chimera obscura. Eventually, a miniature chimera obscura was devised, small enough to be carried from place to place. It was a sealed box with a lens in one end and a view hole in the top. Artists used it for sketching, but no one had any real idea that the dark chamber would ever have any commercial importance. Hi, Toby. Toby is stretched out all in the center aisle, rolled on her back and rolling around. So, Happy New Year. Yeah. In 1802, Thomas Wedgwood, the son of Josiah Wedgwood, a famous potter, had an inspiration. It was known that light rays affect silver compounds. Inventors had made many attempts to devise a method for bringing an image to focus upon a layer of metal in such a fashion that a picture would be burned into it. Wedgwood decided to place a light-sensitive plate into a chimera obscura. He produced silhouette pictures, but they faded quickly unless they were kept in the dark. Thomas Wedgwood's experiment with the dark chamber proved that photography was more than an idea dream, and the camera entered a new phase of its long history. So, now you know where it got that name. Yeah, yeah. Abraham Lincoln. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. It is horrible to see everything that one detested in the past coming back wearing the colors of the future. So, ta-da! March 29th, 1848. Ooh. Ooh. Wow, you carry your age well. The Niagara River froze solid, stopping the flow of the tremendous Niagara Falls. For a few hours, locals were able to walk along the riverbed upon which the falls cascade. That was cold. That was cold. Of course, we've had some pretty cold around here. We're going to get more single-digit below zero stuff this week around here, so beware. Be aware. Don't worry. Yeah. Good judgment comes from bad experience, and a lot of that comes from bad judgment. The quickest way to double your money, of course, is to fold it in half and put it back in your pocket. A closed mouth gathers no foot. Duct tape is like the Force. It has a light side and a dark side, and it holds the universe together. Probably does. Probably does. A 15-year-old Amish boy and his father were in a mall. They were amazed by almost everything they saw, but especially by two shiny silver walls that could move apart and then slide back together. The boy asked, "What is that, Father?" The father, never having seen an elevator, responded, "Son, I have never seen anything like that in my entire life. I do not know what it is." So, in amazement, they just watched. While the boy and his father were watching with amazement, see, I told you. An old, very large lady in a wheelchair moved up to the moving walls and pressed a button. The walls opened, the lady rolled between them into a small room. The walls closed, and the boy and his father watched the small numbers above the walls light up sequentially. They continued to watch until it reached the last number, and then the numbers began to light in the reverse order. Finally, the walls opened up again, and a gorgeous 24-year-old blonde stepped out. The father, not taking eyes off the young woman, said quietly to his son, "Go get your mother." Guaranteed to get somebody in trouble. All right. Oh, you know what? I didn't have to put that up there because I don't have the words to this one. Jan, do we have that in our books? Okay. It is written. Unwritten.
Apparently so.
Talk about your plaque we found? Yeah, you forgot. Might have to review a little bit of your...
Might have to. For anybody that was here last week for Christmas morning, or anybody on YouTube that remembers, Harold, you know, the angel, you know, Hark, Harold Angel, he was up here and he talked about expectations and how pretty much every adversity in our life or issue in our life can be traced back to an expectation of some sort that we had that was unfulfilled or came in unexpectedly. So, this week, Jan found this plaque for me, and I will read it for you because I don't expect you to be able to see it from there. But expect nothing, appreciate everything. So I loved it. I loved it. It's going in my office at work.
And this one gets to stay at the church. I will figure out a place for this one. This one says, let your faith be bigger than your fear. Don't you like that? Yeah. So one of the walls somewhere, so if you have a suggestion where you might like to see that, that would be good. Thanks, sir.
Is that all you need?
For now.
Okay.
For now. We'll do the calendar after. We'll do the calendar after. Don't let me forget. A couple of weeks ago, I did a message. Talked a little bit about this formula. I don't know if you were here or not, whatever. So C3, which is criticism, complaint, and cranky, is the square root of despair plus oblivion equals my personal truth being reactionary, which leads to K2, which is karmic kickback, which leads to more things to be critical about and complain about and be cranky about. Or we could do a different formula in our life, which is truth with a capital T, big T. This is a universal truth. So if my truth is I'm unworthy, or my truth is nobody likes me, that's not a universal truth. The universal truth is you are loved, right? So if we hold on to the universal truth, and which a subset here of location plus awaken and allow. Awaken, allow, and accountability. So location is where are you? Wherever you are, be there. Sometimes we're so busy being in the past, or we're so busy worrying about the future, we're not here. Here is where we have power. Which equals B, blessing, and a subset of karmic kickback in a positive instead of a negative karmic kickback, plus insights and inspiration, I2. So I want to talk a little bit beyond that today, because sometimes we get stuck here. I want to talk about manifesting. You're not going to like it, but I'm here to tell you some stuff. We get stuck here because we're not balanced. It takes physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual balance for us to manifest anything. We talked a little bit about spoon bending. See all these fun spoons, and they're all just different. This one has 2 turns in it. This one has 1. This one didn't turn it over. It just bended. Spoon bending is a wonderful process by which we can take a look at our own manifesting. I'm going to do a class on this. I think I'm going to do a class on this. I'm not the best spoon bender, but it's so much fun and it's addictive. It's like balancing rocks. Have you ever balanced rocks? That's fun and addictive. Because when we have expectations about what the spoon should do, that one, I wanted it to do a loop. Nope. Because sometimes our expectations aren't divine purpose. So just keep spoons in mind. We'll talk to some more about stuff like this. Because here's the thing. We manifest, and we try to manifest from being in this state of being. You can't bend a spoon if you're mad. It won't move. You can't bend a spoon if you're worried. It won't bend because worry has no power. It has the power to make you feel bad. It has the power to make me miserable, but it has no power to influence my world. Being in the truth, being in the here and now, being awake and aware and enlightened brings me to a place of power. So when we're in that place of power, that's where manifesting happens. So January 1st, New Year, we want to manifest something different or better for ourselves, right? From here, what are we going to manifest? A vicious cycle. More of the same. More of the same old, same old. I don't know about you, but I don't want that stuff. I want something different. I want better. I'll tell you, anytime it comes to manifesting, I have to talk about manifesting Phil. Because my expectation was I wanted somebody tall and I wanted them strong-willed because I wanted to feel safe. God didn't want that for me. So here Phil shows up, cute little guy, and he is always pushing me out of my safety zone. All the time. I never get to feel safe. It's always like, well, you could do that. Well, I don't know if I can. Yeah, you can. Go do it. He's pushing me all the time. Whether it was a job I wanted to try, or look at the career I have. Being a professional psychic medium, oh my goodness, nobody does that. Especially here in the Tri-Cities, which is like a really conservative world. No, you could do it. That's what you love, do it. God knew what I needed, and I finally had to talk with God. And I had dated a few times. I was like, what am I doing? My picker is broken. So I said, okay, you do the picking, God. I'll just kind of stay tuned to that. Because I had my focus on, this is what I want, that's what I'm going to get. And I didn't consider anything else. So don't you love it? God had him come up behind me and talk to me and say, hey, you want to dance? And my heart went, this is the one. And I turned and looked, and it was Phil. This is not what I was expecting. But I had already told Spirit that if you want me to be single, I'll be single. You know, because my picker's broken. I'm done. I'm not doing this picking thing anymore. I'm just not doing that. So if you want me to have somebody, please help me in that realm. So my friend badgered me all day to go to this nightclub. Didn't want to go. Badgered me all day. I'm not dressed. Oh, you're fine. I don't want to go. It's just food. Come on, you can do it. It's music. It'll be fine. I don't want to go. It's just a dating scene. I'm done with that. Oh, come on. It'll be fine. Fine. I'll go for a little while. And there's Phil. So, can I trust God? Oh, no, not me. Let me read your palm. Okay, 1, he didn't run away. 2, he thought it was funny. And 3, his palm was something I'd never seen before. And I thought, well, this is going to be interesting. Haven't seen another one like his since then. Because sometimes, you know, when you talk about manifesting, people will say, focus on what you want. Get really clear about what you want. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. Yes, I am. There's value in that. But there's also value in being in alignment spiritually, because sometimes when we're so focused on that, we don't see this other thing come into our lives that's even better, because we're too focused on it's got to look that way. We have an expectation of what it should be, and that's it. This little friend, she was so adorable. She did some marketing pieces for a winery here in town. So she lived out of town, came in town. We were good friends, so we went out to the winery for a wine tasting. And pardon me, they were serving us wine or snacks or something. I don't remember what it was. And one of the people that were there was just young guy, cute, obviously smitten by her. And she had this guy that we had just talked about. How can I make this guy like me? And here was this guy who was just, this was an older guy and unavailable and, you know, anyway. And she missed it. 100% missed it. So when we left, it was like, boy, he was sure flirting with you. Which is, he was? I didn't notice. Because she was fixated on something that would never, ever, ever, ever work. And she missed, because that's what her focus was. If I think and have positive thoughts about that, that'll work. Not always. Positive thought, yeah, we need to have those positive thoughts. But we need to have positive thoughts that are supported spiritually by our greatest good. If we are so locked and loaded on something that we can't surrender to something greater, we get locked down. So the first part of our formula here, the S, is spiritual. If we're not in alignment spiritually, we can't manifest anything. If we're locked down in that struggle that we were talking about, we can't manifest anything but more of the same. Because we're not healed, we're not balanced, we're not in alignment spiritually. So being in alignment spiritually could look like, you know, God, if you want me to be alone, I can walk that path. If you want me to have a person in my life, I can walk that path. Show me. Show me what you want me to do. But for right now, I'm walking in faith. Whatever that looks like. Not having the restriction on it, but knowing that I'll do what it takes. Whatever that looks like. So the spiritual, getting spiritually in alignment is, what does Spirit have in mind for me? I would never in a million years have wanted to create Divine Fellowship. Ever. This is not my idea of a good time. I love it. It is fun. It's a wonderful thing. But I had no concept of it. I couldn't imagine it. Often what is ours to have, we can't imagine because we haven't been there yet. We think it needs to look like this when it could look like that. But we get so wrapped up in, it's got to be my way. No. If we're in my way, then we're in our way. Time to get out of our way. And let Spirit feed to us what's important for us. Being in that state of surrender. Now surrender is not giving up. Oh God, whatever. And then sitting around on the couch eating bonbons and watching cartoons. Captain Kangaroo. Playing solitaire till 1 with a deck of 51. It's being in that spiritual alignment. I love the AA programs because they got this part right. And all it takes is willingness. You don't have to have the answers. We think we have to have the answers. We don't have to have the answers. And the good news is all we have to do is pray for willingness. It's a gift. We don't even have to be willing. We can say, I am unwilling to shift or change. I'm stuck. Bring me willingness. And the willingness comes. It's a grace. It's a gift. It's so beautiful. How cool is that? I have more to say about that, but I can't remember what it is offhand. Yes I do. I want to read to you from Proverbs chapter 4, verse 18. But the path of the righteous is like the light of dawn that shines brighter and brighter until the full day. In the dawn, it's kind of misty, it's kind of twilighty, can't really see clearly, but it gets clearer as we go. Don't have to be crystal clear about everything, except the willingness to do what's necessary. That's the key. Being willing and having hope, and hope is a spiritual thing. So getting that spiritual piece in alignment first, that's important. Next is the mental arena. I want to talk to you a little bit about that. Because you get all confused about this. We think we need to be focused. We think we need to be targeted. Okay, I'm real target-oriented. I'm a real goal-oriented person. But again, sometimes the goals are bigger than we can imagine. If we could see them, we would be too scared to do anything. We'd be just locked down. Trust me on that one. But the mental here is a positive mental awareness. Positive mental awareness. Not just focus, but this positive awareness so that we can be willing to see it as it shows up. Again, the day gets brighter. The sun gets up, and we can see things more clearly. Our path is clear. We're just, in the first part of the day, we're just walking in faith. And then it gets brighter, and we get clearer in what we're all about. The mental aspect, there's been a ton of research done. My brother is a industrial psychologist, so he knows all the research stuff. And we get together and talk. It's really fun. And he talks about that we are hardwired to find what isn't working. We are hardwired to find what's wrong. And most of our jobs expect us to find what's wrong. You know, I was a legal secretary in a past life. And we had to see typos and misstatements. We had to see that. Everything had to be perfect. We're hardwired for that. There's good news, bad news about that. The good news about that is if a lion jumped out of the forest, we would go, this is something wrong. I need to run and be afraid. The bad news about it is lions don't jump out of the forest anymore, at least not in the Tri-Cities. Maybe they do where you live. But we get locked in fear. And when we get locked in fear, we stay rigid and we can only see, our perceptions are only tuned in to what's wrong. We don't see the beauty and the good and the great. We get locked down. And there's another part of the brain, there's tons of research on neuroplasticity, that we can shift our thinking, that our minds have the ability to do it differently. And there's a higher brain, a more aware brain, that can go, I wonder what this is bringing to me to learn. I wonder what the message is for me in this. I wonder where the blessing is in this. If there's something that we're critical and angry and frustrated about, find the blessing, and that shifts us out of that primal brain that keeps us locked and loaded in worry and fear and transports us into this higher thinking, which is where blessings and grace and peace and harmony and all the wonderful things we want in our lives, we desire in our lives, exist out here. When we're in our primal brain, all we can think of is what's wrong. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with me? It's all we can think about. And there was a genetic reason for that, because that kept us alive. But we don't need that anymore. This last year of all the political harassment that we went through, that was all about targeting the primal brain. Because if we get locked in fear, we're easy to manipulate. There's that button. We're out of control, and we've lost it. But the brain has this neuroplasticity that if we're locked and loaded in this, if we just start wondering, I wonder, move into a state of wonderment, then that disconnects. Instead of being hardwired anymore, this will disconnect and brain cells shift and move and make new connections. That's neuroplasticity, ability to shift. Shift happens. Shift happens. I believe that. Because we can allow it to happen without forcing it, without making it hard. It gets to be easy. It gets to be gentle. And the path is wonderment. I wonder what the blessing is in this for me. If you're going through something really tough right now, find the blessing and you'll find the grace and you'll shift out of that primal brain that keeps us locked down and be in a place where we can manifest anything. Anything. We can manifest that. Now, not anything, but anything. We've got more to say on that. I'm going to come back to that. Where are you?
2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19. And so, we have the prophetic word made more sure, to which you do well to pay attention, as to a lamp shining in a dark place, until the day dawns, and the morning star arises in your hearts. That's the emotional part. Emotional. If our emotions are not in alignment spiritually, if our emotions are carrying us away, probably because of being in the primal brain here, we can't manifest. It takes getting out of our way and being in a place of open willingness, open-heartedness. In this state of emotional being, that's where gratitude is. Gratitude, peace, hope, joy, all of those things can happen once we move out of the primal brain into this open awareness brain. That opens our heart space. That opens our heart space. It's all linked. We're all together. And the spiritual and the physical, the spiritual, the mental, and the emotional work together. It's in this emotional state where you can have appreciation. If you want good stuff in your life, start appreciating the stuff you have, even if you don't like it. I'm really grateful this is happening because there's a blessing here, even if I don't know what it is. And the blessing will be revealed, and things will shift. Remember me telling you about the big white camper parked out in the backyard? Year and a half, I think it was there. Oh my gosh, the sun hit it, shone. Oh, it was just brilliant and bright. And I could have hated that. Very easily, I could have hated that. But every time I saw that, here was somebody who was camped in his parents' backyard because his marriage failed and he was struggling. So instead of being angry, because I prefer to have my backyard peaceful, without glare, I would send him a blessing. Every time I looked at it, I said, may you be blessed. May you find joy, happiness, love, abundance in your journey. A year and a half later, he moves on, he's remarried, he's happy, everything's good. And as he pulls his 50-wheeler away, I noticed that the tree, he has 2 blue spruce trees that they planted right there. The one that was right between me and him is this much taller than the other one. Getting the same amount of water. Everything else is the same, but I blessed right there. And that tree grew. Physical things happen when we're in a positive, abundant, gracious, gratitude state of mind. And we can't get there easily when we're locked down and frustrated and unhappy. That doesn't mean that we go, oh, la, 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 nothing bad's happening. What it means is we go, okay, I don't know what the blessing is in this, but there's got to be a blessing here somewhere. I'm going to find a way through this. I'm going to find a way through this. Spiritually speaking, I'm being led through this. Now, I don't think, you read on Facebook all the time, God's not going to take you somewhere He can't bring you through. No, you know what? We take ourselves there, and Spirit can bring us through. It never takes you someplace evil or dark. Never. We do that all on our own. Don't need to give Him credit for that. That's our task. But it doesn't matter where we've taken ourselves. Spirit can bring us through that. And the first step is this emotional state of being, but we can't get there if our mind is locked down in fear and anger, and if we're not in spiritual alignment, if we're not in a place of willingness. Which leads us to the physical. Physical. You're going to love this one. It's one of my favorite passages. Mark. Chapter 14, verse 8. She has done what she could. Do you love that? She did what she could. She didn't have to do it perfectly. She didn't have to do it according to somebody else's standard. She did what she could. And if we wake up and go, I did what I could today. Well, I'm gonna be in alignment with what does Spirit want from me. Spirit wants me to walk in love and joy and faith and peace and harmony. Okay, I'm going to align myself to that. My mental Awareness is going to be open to guidance because, I don't know everything. And I'm going to be in an emotional state of gratitude, and I'm going to do what I can. And if I screw up, I'm going to find the blessing in it. Because you know what? It's not a screw up. It's not a screw up. It's just another thing to look at. Sometimes things happen and we get frustrated, or we oh, that's it, I'm just never going to talk to that person again, or I'm just going to go eat the rest of all those cookies. We do all those things. We get to cut ourselves some slack. We'll be talking about that in the next few weeks. You did what you could. Okay, so eating a bag of cookies, what did that teach me? That teaches me that I was running. What was I running from? I'm running away from feeling overwhelmed. What was I overwhelmed about? I was overwhelmed because I was trying to do more than I could do. See how that's a vicious cycle? But awareness is this mental awareness of being open-minded. I don't have to stay stuck in anger and fear and guilt and shame. I can go, okay, I learned. Next time I feel overwhelmed, instead of going to the cookies, I might go here instead. Instead of going to the cookies, I might pick up a phone, call somebody, say, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. We have this closet in the back room. Oh, God. How many of you have a closet like that? Oh, my gosh. Really need to clean this closet out. Can't even get the closet doors open. It's so bad. And I had to take some stuff out for Christmas decorations and Christmas wrap and all that stuff. They can't even go back. I can't cram them back in. I don't know how I got them out of there in the first place. But they're out. And now it's like, okay, so we got to pull stuff out of there, look at it, make decisions. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you about. Remind me, make decisions. Had to make decisions, and then once we make decisions, some things have to go to Goodwill, some things have to go back in the closet, whatever. Some things will go to the grandkids, whatever. But that's hard work. I just get overwhelmed with that. And here's the thing. What did I want to talk to you about? Make decisions. Okay. Back to mental. More research has been done. You've heard of willpower? There's no such thing. Willpower is this much. They done a ton of research that if you're relying on willpower, you're screwed. Because here's the deal. What they did is they gave people, kind of a challenge, cookies or donuts or something. And anybody could walk in a room, there's donuts. If they'd made the decision they weren't going to have one, they could do it. They took a different group of people and they gave them a little quiz with 20, 50 questions, I don't remember. And once they had done the quiz, these same people who had the same determination came in and couldn't help themselves but ate donuts. Once you make decisions, you're using all your willpower. You're using all of that hardwired energy. It's gone. So by the end of mid-morning, if you're relying on willpower to get you from point A to point B on some goal setting that you've got, you're doomed to fail. But if we take a spiritual approach to it, I'm going to get back to that, remind me, mission statement. So if we take a spiritual approach, and I'm going to lead you through that here in a minute, then it makes it easier. Then we can do the physical things that we choose, that we've made choices for. So we'll get right back to that. So then the last, I did this wrong. Physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and then back to spiritual again. Sorry, this is an S. Spiritual. It's a spiritual sandwich. Spirit, top and bottom, mashing all that stuff together. Because it's both sides. The spiritual part here is more gratitude. It's like it feeds on itself. Because then when you have more gratitude, then you can make some new choices, have new level of awareness and new gratitude, new things coming your way, and then you can do more of what you chose. All right, so let's talk about mission statements. First time I ever did a mission statement. Totally changed my life. Because I was a nice person. Would you do this for me? Sure, you have to. Would you do this for me? Sure, you have to. Once I did a mission statement, then it was like, this is a nice thing, but it doesn't fit. And now I had more energy to put into the physical. So I want to be able to do what my heart desires. And I want to know what my heart desires when it's based on a clear intellect that's not locked down, when it's in alignment with spiritual stuff. If you know who you are and you know where you're going and you know the end result energetically, you're unstoppable. Now, this is different than I'm doing that in hell or high water. I'm going to make that happen. It's a little different because, you know, hell or high water, maybe I'm going to miss out on something wonderful that I hadn't even imagined. Spirit's always has done that a lot for me. Something happened. It was like, oh, I would never have thought of that. Because I was busy thinking that. So having a mission statement is powerful for you. Powerful. In Dream Quest, I teach you how to do that. So let's do a shortened version of that. Just a real short version of that. Because that's going to set the stage for all of this. Because that's going to put you in spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual again. It's going to put it all together. So who are you? If there's not pens and paper in the pew ahead of you, raise your hand, Phil brings some. Who are you now? What is it about you? You have no clue? And that's the hard part. We don't know who we are. You're not what you do. You're not what you have done. There is a core energy that you carry with you in whatever you do. Okay? So in other words, if you're a teacher, you'll find that people just come to you to help learn. You ever notice that? What do people come to you for? What do people come to you for? Information? Help? Encouragement? What do they come to you for? What do you think? Somebody. You don't know? Yes, you do. I know. Which. Insight. Gia, you have information. Don't you? So they come to you for information. So you have I don't know a better way to say that, then you have connections. You can connect people with what they need to know, right? I don't know. Do you have any idea? Anybody struggling with this one? Connections. That works. Yes. What do you think? Anybody else struggling? See, it's easy for us to see because we get in our head and, oh yeah, I'm just... Leadership. There you go. So if you can't get it right now, chat with people. What is it you come to me for? What is it about me that makes me unique? Because you're here for a reason. Do you believe that? Or you feel like you're here just to get beat up by life? If you think you're here to get beat up by life, you're stuck over here. Time to make a shift. Shift happens. Shift now. Because that's going to leave you locked down. This is going to open your world. What are you here about? What is it about you? Now, that's part one. Part two. What do you want? What do you desire? What do you desire? Now, this is not, I want a new car. And we have to be careful with the want. You know, because as soon as I say, I want a new refrigerator, I was telling myself, I want a new dishwasher. Broke the old one. I fell over it. It just broke the door right off. It was just sad. Hurt my leg.
I got a new dishwasher. So be careful about a want, because you create a want. So make sure that you put it in heart's desire might be more profitable for you, more beneficial, without any pain. What is your heart desire? So you want to learn more. You want to go places. Yeah, okay. So you want life experiences that bring you awareness. That's your heart's desire. I want to be able to write and have the words that I say bless others. Is that what you want? What do you want? I want wherever I go that people look at me and they know they can trust me and feel safe with me. What is it? What do you desire? Doesn't have to be a thing. Matter of fact, it's better if it's not a thing. Things happen when we're in the process of manifesting what's in our heart. Okay? And then having the open, focused mind, the open, focused brain that is willing to look at all options. Because guess what? God brings all this wonderful, amazing stuff that we never even thought of. But if you have a sense of what you're feeling, what feeling would bless you? Okay, that's part 2. Part 3. If you had that, what would your life be like? It would be awesome. I would be free. I would be relaxed. I would be caring. I would be joyful. What would you be? What would your world be? Has nothing to do with what you have, or your financial abilities, your physical abilities, because it's back to she did what she could. You'd be blessed. Well, what does that blessing look like? I would wake up every day with a smile on my face. So make that, instead of a broad thing, make it really clear. I would wake up happy. I would walk my life, the path of my life, with exuberance. Make it really clear. Does that make sense? I did have a mission statement written on my paper. I just didn't turn my paper. Love it. One last thing. Nope, I did that one. Did I do them all? I did them all. Okay, cool. So let's do guided meditation. Shall we?